Why does your back feel worse after sitting when you didn't even lift anything or move differently? If you got a disc herniation or a bulging disc, how you sit can make the pain worse. So let's break down the absolute worst sitting posture for your discs and how to take pressure off of your spine. So first, let's acclimate you to what the spine should look like and where the discs are. So this is the spine. Vertebrae are the actual bones, the white part, the creamy colored part, and then here the blue. Those are the discs, and so they separate the bones. They're in between the bones. They're provide room for the nervous system, for the nerves to come out between individual bones and vertebrae. So here is the disc, and then in the middle is what's called the nucleus pulposus. And it's like this gel filled type material. And then and it's contained by this tough outer layer of fibrocartilage. So you see that is contained within, the spine, within the vertebrae, and it's not going to put pressure on the spinal cord, which is this structure right there. In spinal cord, it's part of your nervous system, and a healthy, functional spinal cord is essential to your overall health. So that's why a healthy spine is essential to your overall health. So we want that contained. This is a nice outer layer there that contains that, but through sitting, through past injuries, perhaps repetitive motions that wear this out, that wear out your posture, decrease the normal curves and alignment of your spinal posture. Well, now this can start to break down. The disc can start to break down. And so here again, here's a normal representation of what the spine should look like. So you got the disc annulus, that's the fibrocartilage holding the nucleus pulposus gel-like material in there. But if there's a weakening, either through gradual means, gradual stress on this cartilage, this tough fibrous cartilage structure, then either gradually or something suddenly, now this nucleus can start to leak out. Or even if it's still contained, but it bulges, so there's the bulging disc, right? Where the cartilage is still intact, but it's weak. So now it starts to bulge. That's why it's called the disc bulge. Where the herniation, now it starts to seep out. This nucleus part starts to seep out and irritates the nerves. So this is the front of the disc, or the front of the spine, back of the spine, just to make sure we're all on the same page. And so what you want to do is think, okay, think about this disc like a jelly donut. All right, so there's the front of the donut, there's the back of the donut. Now, if we press down on the front side, where will the jelly go? Where will it be forced? Out to the back. Okay, it's the same thing with disc herniations with the disc and the movement of this material. So if you are sitting, and so here are the different sitting postures, just sitting by itself in an even upright posture, it increases the disc pressure. All right, it's at 140 instead, like 100 is normal. So this is to 140. So now if we slump over, it goes up to 185 kilograms of pressure. And if you are actually holding on to something like a weight and slumped over and sitting for some reason, where you're, again, in that constant chronic forward flex position while having weight, holding on to weight, that increases it even more. This comes into play more in daily life, right? Sitting hunched over on the couch, on a chair, driving, and that what happens is it forces that jelly-like material, right, the nucleus pulposus, back, and it keeps weakening. If it keeps weakening, now, again, you can see why in that posture, it's not an ideal posture for your spine, for the discs, especially if you have a disc bulge or disc herniation. So how to sit, Obviously, we want to sit more with an upright posture. Okay. You don't want to lean back. You don't want to round back because just sitting by itself, you saw that here, there's still more pressure than if you're lying down or even standing in some cases because of the position that puts your discs in. So a good rule of thumb or a good little tool is to have a pillow or something behind your back to help you sit up. But you want to watch out for that though, because if you keep leaning back against the chair, which in this case, he's not leaning back against the chair, he's not even using the back of the chair. And even in this one here, where he's on his device, on his smartphone, looking at his phone, he's sitting upright. Another good tip is to have your hips at a minimum level with your knees, and even better, have your hips above your knees so it's more on a downward angle there. So that will keep you from rounding your back, will help keep you from putting more pressure on those discs, especially if you have disc herniations or disc bulge or disc problems, even arthritis. So upright, keep the if you're looking at your iPad, if you're looking at your phone, keep it upright, okay? Bring it up towards your face rather than down in your lap looking down, which causes the slumping. And this is for anywhere that you sit, couch, chair, even while driving. Make sure that the back is not reclined in the car too much. You want it maybe 5 degrees at the most. To help to stabilize the lumbar spine, I'm going to link to this video here, the #1 ab exercise for a strong spine. It helps to engage the deep core muscles. With low back pain, with disc herniations, these muscles get weak and create more instability, more wear and tear. So with this exercise, it helps to retrain those muscles. So definitely check that out. Also, type spine in the comments, and I'll send you my strong spine quick start guide here. And it'll give you 4 simple solutions to build a strong spine that you can do in your everyday life. All right, until next time, be your own guarantee for your health and your life.